So I'm vlogging on a Leica SL2. I don't know anybody that does that. It's a heavy camera. I did not think I was going to be doing a video today, so I look like crap. But anyway, during this coronavirus thing, one really cool thing that came my way is a camera I ordered months ago. It kind of caught me off guard. I ordered the Leica SL2. For still cameras, I love Leica. Now, I'm telling you, it's a different experience. What caught me off guard about it is I kind of forgot that I ordered it, and then all of a sudden I have to pay this big amount of money. Because it's not a cheap camera. Then I gotta pedal away a couple other cameras because I don't like just taking money out of my pocket for camera gear. I like to get rid of something if I'm gonna get something new. You know, it only makes sense. I decided in the middle of this pandemic to come up here sort of not far from my house. It's in the middle of nowhere. I brought the golf cart up here. And now I'm going to go hike, and I'm going to just do some still photographs, but I decided to do a little bit of video too. I'm just kind of winging it right now. Right now, I'm using a Sigma lens on this Leica, and it's an L mount. It's set at about 18 millimeters right now. I'm going to be putting on the 24 to 90 Leica shortly, and I'm going to be doing a lot of my shots, my still shots with that. I just want to try this camera out. I'm pretty married to the Panasonic S1H for high-end video, and I'm pretty married to my Canon EOS R for vlogging. We'll see how it goes. You know, I just want to just push the boundaries. There is a big falcon up there. Maybe if I can, I think it's a falcon. Man, I can get that thing on video. Let's go shoot some photos. With this lens, which is heavier, it's 24 to 90, so I gotta get it really far out here because it's not as wide. At least I think I do. I'll check it in a second, but Leica SL with a Leica 24 to 90, it's awesome. This camera has in-body stabilization. My other SL did not, but the Panasonic S1H does, so am I going to be bummed that I have both cameras and all that money tied up, and does one have to go, or do they serve two completely different purposes? This is higher megapixels, so we're going to find out. All right, so I've switched over to my iPhone because the only camera I brought along is the Leica. So I'm going to go up here for a little bit, and I'm glad I brought this bigger jacket, man, because I was like, it's not going to be cold. It's getting pretty cold. A little later in the day than I thought. It's a pretty tough incline. I'll show you what it looks like. Not a huge deal, but you know, I've got 20 pounds of equipment on my back. Now I know how military people feel. They have more. I can do this. By the way, this little clip here is by Peak Design. And it just makes it that your camera's like really convenient all the time. Very first video that I ever uploaded to YouTube was one that I came up here with a drone and it crashed on the side of the hill, and I had to climb halfway down the hill. I almost fell down the hill. Anyway, my camera is not set to fully manual right now. A lot of people say, oh, well, you're not really a photographer if you're not fully in manual all the time. I'm not a photographer. I'm a drummer. I'm a guy with a camera. And if it has automatic stuff and it produces a good result, I'm going to use it. And I'm on top of the world right now. That's a 360-degree look at where I'm at. I think it's awesome. It's just beautiful up here. Okay, so I've shot a few things. I'm gonna hike back down the hill, get in the golf cart, and ride around and see if I can find anything else interesting to shoot. So here we go. Ooh. So I'm trying to get down this hill, and it's a little sketchy because it's wet. Let's take a look. Oh boy, here goes the big one here. Slide. Okay, here's the gnarly part. Right here. This is a golf cart, not a quad. Trust me, it's more gnarly than it looks. Alright, we're down. Okay, so I snuck on somebody's property just because it looked really cool. I shouldn't do that. Alright, I'm gonna take some pictures. Okay guys, it's day 2 of me testing out the Leica. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my motorcycle and head up into the hills where there's some nice looking scenery. And I'm gonna videotape some stuff, and I'm gonna take some more photos. I'm gonna talk about the camera a little bit and my experiences so far. Probably gonna do video from here on out after this with the Panasonic S1H. I'll do most of the video from that, and I'll do my stills from the Leica here on after. I may do a little more video, but we'll see. So I'm gonna saddle up here in just a second. This bag that I normally use on the back, it's Mali of London, and they make some really, really nice stuff. I'm not gonna use that today because it's not great for photographic equipment. I'm sure I could find a shell that would fit in there, but I'm going to strap on my Shimoa, and I'll show you really quickly what I have in there, just very quickly. I have both cameras. So I've got a lot of expensive camera equipment on here, so I got to make sure it's strapped down well. I've got the S1H, and I got the Leica SL2. I've got my Sigma lens, and on the Leica camera, I already have the Leica lens. I've got some extra batteries, microphone. I've got a switch pod, tripod mounted on the side. I've got my little Peak Design clip. Then I got a pair of glasses in here so I can see what the hell I'm doing. My water, obviously. And then if I go inside here, got my wallet. I don't really have anything in there right now. But in here, I've got my platypod for those kinds of things. And I've got some lights. And I've got some ways of mounting those lights. I don't know if you can see it very well. So I'm going to mount that to there, and I'm heading out. So let's go. We got a lot to talk about today. First of all, right now we are in a few days of this lockdown with the coronavirus. So I'm out riding around because of the virus. So I'm out riding around because of the virus. So I'm out because that's a safe thing to do. I'm socially distanced. I'm not touching anything that could be filled with virus. Anyway, I saw a lot of people like out in these remote areas, like out doing archery and stuff like that. I think that's great. What you have to avoid though, and I'm not going to get into the whole thing, you can check with the CDC on this, but things like playgrounds, swinging on monkey bars and that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to actually help you get away from all that a little bit and talk about cameras for a minute. So I'm thirsty. What I wanted to do today is I wanted to go to, if you saw my video, What the Hell Happened Here, I went in the Satanic Cave. So today I was going to go take photos with the Leica SL2 in the Satanic Cave. But when I got up there and started to ride through the mud on my motorcycle, which was a little scary with all my camera gear on there, because I wasn't in enduro mode, I was just plowing through in sport mode. Anyway, there were hundreds of boxes of bees. And if you remember, I got stung the last time I was there. And now there is like bona fide, full-on, they're doing bee stuff up there. And I pulled around and I stopped and I thought maybe they'll mind their own business over there, but no, they started to get curious and I went, I can't do this. So I am at, if you ever saw my video, What the Hell Happened Here, that's where I'm at right now. Because I thought that it might be a cool idea to videotape in the Satanic Cave. But they have moved bees over here, and there's a whole bee thing I'm going to show you. Maybe you can hear it. Anyway, I am out of here. I got a little bit on my cell phone, but I kind of just got the hell out of there. So I'm kind of by the where the power building is here, and I just love this area here. I just love this rock formation. Now the only downside today is that it's cloudy, so it'll be bright one second, it'll be dark the next second, and in between, so it's like all over the place. So my exposure is going to be all crazy, but I'll just do the best with what I can. But what I want to show you, this is the Leica SL2. I have a Leica SL1, which most likely I'm going to get rid of. I'm going to send it to my good friend Dan Tomarkin at Tomarkin Cameras in Chicago. He may have a buyer for it, somebody that really wants one. And that is a beautiful, amazing camera. So it's like, why would I want this? I really only need one solid Leica camera, at least that's what I say. Most of the time I do my video on my Lumix S1H. I love this camera, and I also do a lot of vlogging on my Canon EOS R. So this is like my still camera, but guess what? It shoots really amazing video. Is it as good a video as the S1H? Probably, but it's probably, just leave me alone. I'm minding my own business, okay? It's probably not as user-friendly for video as the S1H is, arguably, because the S1H does have a lot more controls, and this is a little simpler. So what the difference is between this and the S1H, and I'm not, this is like a user review, so I'm not going to go into all these, you know, way out there specs. It's roughly twice the megapixels. You know, there's an upside and downside to that, because you have less low light capability when you have more megapixels like that. But this is full frame at 47.5 megapixels. That's pretty amazing. I've got this incredible lens that I've had for several years. It's the 24 to 90 Leica. Right now I'm shooting on a Sigma, and that's a Sigma, I think it's 14 to 24, and I'm out at about somewhere around 22 to 24, somewhere in there. Both cameras have their strengths. They're not competing with each other in my world. They're actually sharing the fact that these are interchangeable lenses. Almost everything's interchangeable except the batteries. So I'm going to shoot a little bit with this, and I'm going to show you some of the stills, and then I'm going to talk about it a little more. I have been using this for the last few days. but not as extensively as I wanted to. I did do a little hike, and I've been debating whether to put it in my video, because most of it was done on my iPhone, which looks good actually. This is a little bit different for me because it's not really legend tripping, but I'm in what I wanted to do was go to the Satanic Cave, so and really do a bunch of stills down there, but unless there's a back way in, I need to avoid those bees. I don't know, it's just I don't want to get stung multiple times. I don't think that's a good idea. So anyway, let's go shoot with this thing. Look, Leica cameras aren't for everybody, and I really don't mean that in a snotty way. I just mean that, like, you're either going to be a very professional photographer, which I am not, and I'm not a professional videographer either. I just use these things for my YouTube channel and for other things that I do, documenting poison stuff, whatever. But, you know, it took me a long time to spend that kind of money on a camera, and once I did, I got very addicted because you know, there really is a difference, and there's a certain panache about it. Camera these days, you know, once you get to a reasonable price point, and even below a reasonable price point, you can get some really good images from a lot of stuff. There's a lot of bang for the buck out there. So I'm not talking to the people that are just trying to find the best bang for the buck. I'm talking to people that really are interested in the Leica SL2 and what that world is like. I just happen to really love the form and function and the rugged feel of this camera. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you did. Hit the like button if you like this video, and definitely check the notifications so you get notified when I upload more content. Most of my content is legend tripping, which means I investigate urban legends, spooky stories, that kind of stuff. I've always loved that kind of stuff, and when I started a YouTube channel, I decided, well, that's what I'm going to do. But I do love cameras too, and I love motorcycles, and I can combine all three of those things together, so look out. And then I get to travel around with poison and then combine the four loves of my life. I'm not talking about my family, I'm talking about extracurricular activities, those kind of loves, those kind of hobbies, those kind of passions. And some of it to me is you know, one of those things that keeps me going through this whole coronavirus thing, man. Thank God I have these hobbies, so I have fun doing it. And oh shit.